make apple pie. Nothing is as American as learning how to make apple pie, especially during the fall season. Although apple pie is a simple dessert, it has stumped many experienced cooks in its time. The simplicity of this dish makes every ingredient stand out, which means the balance of flavors has to be just right. Fortunately for you, we have come across a tried and true recipe that can show you how to make apple pie like your grandmother used to, if she made great apple pies, that is. The secret to its yummy goodness? It's mostly apple, not crust. To get started with a deep dish of your own apple pie, just follow these directions. 1. The important thing about apple pie is, well, apples. You want to mainly go with sweet tart varieties like McIntosh, Cameo, Cox Pippin, Stayman Winesap, or Fuji. If you cannot find these, munching apples like Honeycrisp or Red Delicious should also work great. The key is to use apple varieties that are firm, aromatic, and flavorful, and to avoid softer varieties, for example Gala or Golden Delicious apples. You will need about 20 medium-sized apples to make a deep dish pie 9 inches across. 2. Aside from the apples, you will need 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1 cup of granulated sugar. But what really gives this recipe its unique taste is the spices. A tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon each of ground dry ginger, ground cloves, and allspice. 3. Make the pie crust with 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1/3 cup of cold butter, 1/4 cup of cold water, 1/6 cup of cold vegetable shortening, and a pinch of salt. Note that the oil-based ingredients have to be cold so that you end up with a flaky crust. Just mix the flour, sugar, butter, salt, and shortening until the flour is moistened. Don't mind the lumps. Sprinkle cold water on it a little at a time to achieve the consistency of dough. Roll it out to 1/8 inch thickness, making sure that the edges extend a couple of inches beyond the 9-inch pie plate. Press it into the pie plate and fix up any tears. Finish off the ragged ends into a neat fluted edge. 4. Wash, peel, core, and slice the apples into wedges that are about 1/2 to 1/4 inch thick. Make sure to get rid of stems, seeds, brown spots, bruises, and mealy-looking areas. Set aside. 5. In a small dry bowl, combine the flour, sugar, cornstarch, and spices. Mix them well. 6. Generously sprinkle the bottom of the pie crust with the spiced sugar mixture. Lay a tight layer of apple slices on top, making sure to minimize any airspace. Pack with more layers of spiced sugar and apples until the top rises to about 1½ inches above the top of the pie plate. You need to pile them on because apples cook down a lot, and you don't want to end up with an underfilled pie. Finish off by generously sprinkling the rest of the spiced sugar on top. 7. Bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. Then at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 60 minutes. The pie is done when a blunt knife stuck in the middle of the apple layer goes through without difficulty, showing that the apple slices have gone soft. Take it out of the oven and let it cool on a rack. Apple pies are best served just a little warm with some whipped cream or vanilla ice cream on top. Follow this recipe to the letter. We promise that when you taste the pie, you won't believe that learning how to make apple pie can be this simple.